welcome to another edition of Cruising with the Coaches, a conversation with Julie and Lee. I'm your co-host, Lee. Co-host over there, almost had it right. Julie, how's everything going? How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Quick question for you before we get into this show's topic, right?
Okay.
Because I know, back where you live in Ohio, like there are distinct seasons, right?
Yeah.
Like summer, fall, winter, spring, right? You know when those happen.
Right.
So
I mean, can't
here,
tell right now.
well, hold that thought, right? But like here, we typically get in the DC area or the DMV, as they call it, right? We get summer and we get a few weeks, 2, maybe 3 if we're lucky, of fall. But
Okay.
that's later, right? And then we get some winter, depending on what it is, and then spring. So my question is, although you can't tell right now, like what is your favorite fall drink? Well, that's didn't mean for that to be a loaded question. Sorry. As in non-alcoholic favorite drink.
Fall, particularly?
Sure, for fall. Yeah.
Oh, and you said non-alcohol.
I mean, you can go with alcohol if you like, but
I
we
don't
might
know.
we might have viewers and listeners who want a non-alcoholic beverage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. Um,
You're not a pumpkin
I'm not a
spice or apple and
seasonal.
cinnamon,
Oh, I mean, yeah, I'll do.
hot
I'll
cocoa. I
start.
don't know.
Oh, I do hot chocolate all year round.
Okay, so that's not a seasonal thing. Not a
No,
seasonal
no,
thing.
no. I do hot chocolate all year round. Yeah, people look at me like I'm crazy. Um,
95 degrees.
yeah, I'll drink hot chocolate with my whipped cream. Yep, I'm all year
Nice,
round.
nice.
So yeah, I don't really have a particular. I mean, yeah,
Okay.
I guess
Yeah.
I'm that person who does do the pumpkin spice flavored things, but like,
Right. But nothing. There's nothing that like you look forward to come October, November, December. Other than hot
no,
chocolate. Other than hot chocolate, because you do that year round.
no, no,
Okay.
not really.
Well,
What is there
I was just
something for
curious.
you?
Absolutely, yes, and you
Oh,
got to try
really?
it, right?
Okay.
So it's something that I've made before, but it's a ginger and turmeric tea, right? I'm not necessarily a tea drinker. I'm a coffee
I
drinker.
drink that all year round.
The ginger and turmeric.
Yes.
Show's
I
over,
just
guys. I'm going home. That's it. No, I'm kidding.
I do, seriously.
Well, that's what I was asking because
Yeah,
obviously
it's
letting
either
our
that or
viewers know,
chai.
yeah, and it's great for um, inflammation, right?
Mhm.
Like the ginger and turmeric are superfoods, and
Yeah.
so you mix that with like some cinnamon, a little bit of honey,
Okay.
good to go. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But
It,
yeah,
it reminded me of like these fall because here we actually have fall right now. Like
mhm.
it's 60s, it's windy, it's like gray. I was like, am I back at home in Ohio? What's going on? But yeah, no. So that's why I was asking. I was just curious.
Oh, yeah, no, again, I might have it like every other day or then, I mean, between that and chai, like it's just kind of like,
Which
but
one floats your
which
boat? Yeah.
one? Yeah, but I
All
guess
right. No,
I just drink what I want to drink when I want to drink it.
who am I to tell you not to? Who am I? Yeah. Do you do vanilla with your chai sometimes?
Yes, yes, yes.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, I do.
All right. Just checking. Making sure I don't have to find a new co-host because that
No,
might have
I
been
do.
an answer.
I do
So
vanilla. I do.
cool. Well, see, this was really a setup because you have to have trust for a good relationship, right? That's what we're talking about. And if you'd said no vanilla with the chai, not sure I could
Oh,
trust.
it would have been over. I don't think so,
Right.
but okay.
But that's today's topic, right? How to improve relationships. That's what we're getting into. So,
Yeah.
um, before we jump in, anything you'd like to add or say before we jump into the content?
Nope.
All right, let's go for it. So this is from ourritual.com, and they talk about relationships, right? So let's be real. Healthy relationships, they don't just happen. They're built over time with love, effort, and intention. But improving the relationship isn't just about fixing things when they go wrong. It's essential for maintaining us along a strong long-term partnership. But it's also about nurturing the emotional connections, prioritizing each other's mental health, growing together to create a successful relationship that stands the test of time. So, how can you actually improve your relationship? And what specific areas need a little TLC? What we're going to talk about next are 10 tried and true tips from relationship experts that help you keep your bond strong and bring more joy into your daily life. These are everyday practices that can bring your relationship to new heights, whether you're already feeling solid or looking for new ways to reconnect. So, tip number one is communication and active listening. You have heard both of us talk about this time and time again. Communication is everything. It's the bedrock of any strong relationship, and it's not just about talking. It's about really listening and making your partner feel heard. Active listening is about more than nodding along while thinking about your grocery list or TikTok or whatever, right? It's tuning in to what your partner is saying and understanding the emotions that are behind the words. So as we come out here on camera, that kind of nails it, right? We've talked about communication all the time. What are your thoughts about communication and or active listening?
I mean, it's just so different, like across the generations, as far as what communication is
Oh,
and what active listening is.
yeah.
You know, like
Sorry, what did you say?
what
Yeah.
you know what? I'm gonna hurt you. But it's just so like so in a day of texting, a day of reels, you and I have had conversation of the sending of reels. You
I plead the
know,
fifth. I
and
know nothing about that.
but it's just kind of like where are we when it comes to communication? Like is
Yeah,
that communication? Like, hey, me sending you this is communication. Like I'm thinking of you. This is why I'm sending you this.
right.
And is that enough? And by sending a
Ooh,
response, with your little emoji, whether it's a heart, a smile, or laughy or whatever, is that enough for you to say, okay, like I'm acknowledging that you sent this, and like
mm,
generationally, I think we all have different like
styles, if you will, or
yes.
I feel attacked though. You mentioned emoji. I feel attacked. I'm
You
kidding.
know how I feel about emojis. It's like, are you serious? and you and I are in a place where I can say to you, I'm gonna need you to simmer down with the emojis, the avatar. Like, what are you
Oh,
doing? Are we
because I'll send 10 of them in a row. Like yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, but you know what? You said something key. You were talking about um. Oh my gosh, you said a word. Now I'm trying to remember it. Like I promise I was listening. I promise I
Were
was
you
listening.
listening?
I wasn't just thinking about my grocery list or TikTok. No, but you said oh my gosh, this is perfect for this show because I can't remember the word.
Was it responding, reaction,
Yes,
or okay?
that's it.
Okay.
And I think there's so many different ways. Like what happens is people communicate in these different ways, right?
Okay.
But then psychologists or whoever help define that. Oh yeah, well that is a form of communication.
Right.
But is it? But is it really?
Right.
Well, because you and I had this talk too. Is that just bare minimum communication?
Exactly.
Like,
Because it is. It is.
right,
It's
right,
me. Okay, this is how I feel about it. Or is it really? Or is it just that you were just flipping through? Oh, let me send this. Like,
right. Right.
whatever. But like, I know with my female friends, if you send a reel and it's just kind of like, girl, and then you was like, oh hell no, like, and then you kind of like have a full-fledged conversation about this damn reel.
Well, and there's different communication for different groups, right? Like,
Exactly.
and I mean, so we're talking about relationships, and primarily we're going to speak about like adult friendships, right?
Right.
But that's why I led with the whole question of the whole chai and drink and all that, because if you had the wrong answers, no show, right? but it's different for everybody. But active listening is crucial to it,
Right.
for sure.
Right.
As
And
I failed that test live in the recording,
but I mean, real talk, when you do have that opportunity, because a lot of times we don't get to be face to face with our friends anymore.
right.
We're on the phone. It's a text. It's not always a phone call either. But when
Right.
we do have that opportunity to be face to face with our friends and, it's how are you doing? And, when they do say, I'm bogged down, I'm overwhelmed, I'm this, I'm that, you have to be that friend and that says, whoa, what is it? What do you have? What's on your plate? And actually listen. Now,
This is what
as
you
a
make
friend,
space for sure.
yeah, right. Like, and you could have that moment where you're really thinking,
And like
like,
I was trying to go to bed
I'm
2 hours ago, but
right.
but I'm here for you. Yeah.
Right. And you do what we just said, active listening. Because you really, like, because sometimes the fact of the matter is they haven't had the opportunity to really talk to somebody about what it is that they need to get off their chest. And
Yeah.
so just really being there and listening to your friend, because I've been in the situation, especially as of lately, like where you're really listening and you're going, whoa, you're talking about my friend. I'm gonna need you to calm down. And they're
Hmm.
going, I'm talking about myself. I said, you're talking about my friend. I need you to like show yourself some grace.
Well, because
Like,
what's
stop
that?
being so hard on yourself.
And what's that we always say? Well, when we're coaching people, right, is that
Right.
you have to treat yourself as if you would treat a friend or even a best friend, right?
Right.
So
Right.
you can't have this negative self talk about you when you wouldn't be saying those things about
Right.
your bestie, you know?
Well, and the climate right now is there's so much negativity that you have no choice but turn it internal. And then you start, like, because you feel so overwhelmed about not being able to change what is happening externally that
Sure.
you can't
Sure.
help but internalize it. And
Yep.
so then every little thing that's going wrong in your life becomes just
Mhm.
maximized. And it's just kind
This
of like,
big
no. Like that's not about you. That's about the other person. That's not about you, like, and just having to
yeah.
break that down for that person so that they understand, oh, you're right. Oh, you're right. And realizing they haven't had the opportunity to talk to anybody else about it. So they didn't
Mhm.
realize that it wasn't them. And so it's just kind of like, wow. Like the climate that we have going on right now, it's just
It, it's
no
the
bueno.
upside down.
It's just,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just,
Well, and there's something to be said for saying something out loud, right?
right,
Like you can write it, you can text it, you can type it, you can say it silently, but when you verbally say it and you're like sometimes I even see the words that I'm saying and I'm like, huh, that don't make no sense. But
exactly.
because verbally it now is in that sphere. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So
yes,
not to get all super
yes.
abstract, but yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but and then I'm finding that is like even been the best part is I've had so many people as they're saying it out loud, they're going, well, that sounds stupid when I say it out loud. Like, why am I thinking that that is my problem? And
Ding,
I'm
ding,
like,
ding, ding.
I'm like,
We have
like,
a winner. Right.
yeah, right.
Right.
And I'm going,
Right.
oh, like as long as you see it, as long as you hear it, you can
Yep.
change it. And it's just kind of like then you see the aha, you're just kind of like, yes,
Totally.
yes,
Totally.
yes.
That
yes.
that's what active listening does too,
Yeah,
for sure,
exactly.
for
And then,
sure.
you fist bump and you just go, yeah. And you say, all right, cool. All right.
Oh, you this well, all right. I mean, but
Yes.
if that's your thing, like I mean,
Hey, I love those moments. Those are my favorite when they figure it out for them,
oh, you see the light bulb? Yeah,
yes.
that
That's
is
like
huge. That's a win.
that's
Yeah.
huge. It's
Or
huge.
when they see the light bulb and then they say, "Wow, you were right," and you're like, "Mm, I
And
didn't
it's
have to
not
say
even
it."
about you were right. It's
No,
about them saying
them
I didn't
finding what
even
it was.
they didn't even honestly need me. They just needed to say it out loud and
Right.
realize, wait a minute, like now that I've said it out loud, I really realize that sounds yeah, like that's not my fault. I couldn't have done
Right.
anything different. Like
Right.
I'm beating myself up over something I couldn't have changed.
Ooh,
So
been there, done that. Got the T-shirt for that.
exactly,
Man.
exactly.
And there are
So
times when it is about being right. Yeah. Oh, but that's a different show. Sorry, different show. We've covered that before.
different
Yeah.
case scenario.
Oh man. All right. Well, here's number two. Look at that. Building trust and
Right into it.
reliability. There you go. But trust is easy to break and tough to rebuild. It isn't just about the big things. It's also about the daily stuff, right? Are you keeping your word? Are you showing up when you say you will? Trust isn't a set it and forget it kind of thing either, right? It's earned and maintained through consistent actions. In a nutshell, trust isn't just about being reliable. It's about showing up emotionally too. Coming out here on camera. Anything you'd like to add about trust and reliability? I agree with that 100%. Like it's
Oh
about
yeah.
showing up, you know,
Yeah,
always.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the fact of the matter is, you want to be that person who people choose to allow themselves to trust. That's, once you are labeled that person that they can't trust, what's the point?
You're you're probably not going to get that back either, right? That's
Exactly.
talk about trying to rebuild it. And this is we're talking about like adult relationships, right?
Yeah.
You and I, but I'm sure we both had those situations where like someone's talking about someone that we trust, right?
Correct.
And whether they're I don't want to say bad mouthing, right, but just kind of talking sideways about this person,
Sure. Sure.
right? But as that friend, and this is we've said this before too on the show, like can they trust you when you're not around to like
Exactly.
defend them or not even defend, but say, hey, pump the brakes. You're going a bit far talking about so and so. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's not
Right.
entirely true, or that's not their character, whatever the case may be.
Correct. Correct.
You know,
And I think we do. We as a community need to get more comfortable with ourselves in not being okay with the silence. When we start to see that activity or seeing that action or hearing that action,
yeah.
stepping in and saying, hey, like, I'm just going to throw a name and say Aaron, not that I'm, know a person like
if, if
but
Aaron,
saying,
if you're
yeah, I
listening,
don't know an
watching, sorry,
Aaron,
no, yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
saying, like, that doesn't sound like Aaron, or that's not the
right,
Aaron that I know. So,
right.
you might want to reframe that in a way that it doesn't defame Aaron, because that doesn't really sound like the Aaron that I know.
Totally.
Or, if you want to talk about Aaron that way, can you do it in that direction? Because, you know what I mean? Like
Right, right.
we
Not
need
not a, we're not gonna do this while I'm sitting right here.
exactly,
We're not gonna do that.
exactly,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Because I think the silence is worse than anything.
Because that's kind of
Like
being complicit. That's like you're going along
exactly,
with what they're saying, right? So
exactly. And I think we do. We need to get more comfortable with stepping up and just saying to the
yeah,
person, like, "Hey, I I don't think that is Aaron's character, and I don't know who in this room knows Aaron, but
right,
you need to not be saying what you're saying. You
right,
just
right.
shut it
Just
down.
yeah.
Just shut it
And
down."
even if you're not confident enough or comfortable to shut it down like that, at least speaking up, be like, hold on,
Yes.
like you even starting with, that's not the Aaron that I know. So
Exactly. And that's
I'm not
that's
sure where you have that reference. You can stop
yeah.
there, right?
Yep.
But
Yep.
let's like say if someone talks about Hubert Davis, like, sorry, I just throwing a little reference in there
They can talk
because
about Hubert.
blasphemy. What? Hey, we are in the preseason top 25. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? I
That's
mean,
your
sure,
boy. That's your boy. That's not mine.
fair, fair, but we have succeeded in spite of him, not because of. But anyway,
Facts.
whole other show, y'all. Whole other show. Sorry, my bad, my bad.
Facts.
Oh man. All right, moving on to number 3 here. Just passed it. Sorry. Conflict resolution and
See,
patience.
look, we slid right into that one.
I mean, it was just natural, right? It was natural. It's how you fight that can make or break the relationship. Conflict isn't the enemy. In fact, if you handle it right, conflict can actually bring you closer. The secret is to stay patient, listen to the other person's perspective, and keep your cool. Patience is key here. Instead of reacting in the heat of the moment, hit pause, take a breath, walk away if you need to, or if you need to cool off. Come back to the issue when you're in a calmer headspace. So I will not talk about Hubert Davis to Julie because she's gonna have to walk away. She's gonna have to get in a cooler headspace and then come back and talk about Hubert Davis in a much more positive light
Yeah, I don't
next
feel
time we
that
talk about
strongly. I'm not that the season hasn't started yet, so I don't feel that strongly about him. But
it. Fair, fair.
I'm sure it will get more intense as the season begins.
We will have some conversations about Hubert. I'm sure. I'm sure. Yes, but see, but we fight fairly, right?
Yes. Yes.
We will talk about Hubert in a positive light until we don't need to. So, oh, but people are like, wait, what? Who's Hubert? It's I promise you, this is about communication. This is about relationships and actually about adult relationships and friendships. All right. This is how we keep it together. This is how we keep it together.
Exactly. Exactly.
Number 4, tip number 4 is emotional support and appreciation. So feeling appreciated in a relationship can make you feel like you're on top of the world. Offering emotional support and expressing appreciation regularly is the not so secret formula for keeping your relationship fresh. Emotional support isn't just for the bad times, it's also for offering encouragement and being there for each other in everyday life. Um, and that can turn a good relationship into a great one. So that's kind of what we were saying a little bit earlier. Um, like when someone you're actually having communication and excuse me, and you're actively listening, and that person starts saying, I'm not doing so well, or this is really bothering me. That's the emotional support, right?
Right. Right.
For the bad time, but you can also do it for the good times, right? Remember to when you have at least, I think we both do this as well, right? Check-ins, like
Mhm.
you check in, or someone got a promotion, they changed jobs, they did this, or you know married, new family, whatever the happy or positive occasion is, right?
Yes.
Check in with them and say, hey, how's that going, right?
Right.
It's the emotional support is not just to be there for the bad things. Of course,
Right.
you could do that too, but that drags everybody down, right? Like,
Right. Right. No, and what
yeah,
is it they say, you can't just be there for people in their bad times, in their good times. You need to
right,
be there for them in their bad times. But, you need to try to support your people at all times. I mean,
yeah,
realistically.
yeah.
But yeah, I know life is hard. You want to be there for everybody all the time. But it's not even feasible, not
No, you gotta pick and well, that's we've talked about energy, right? You got to
Mhm.
pick and choose who and when you're there
Right.
for, right? And it doesn't always have to be 100%. It's not all or nothing. It
Right.
can be, okay, I hear you got something going on. Let me call you tomorrow, right? Let me call you tomorrow because right now I don't have the capacity to actually talk to you, but
Right.
I want to hear it, right? I
Right.
want it to be put out there. So I have space tomorrow or Friday, whatever it is, but then you make that space, right?
Right.
And as we said earlier, one of the tips is how do you show up or keeping your
Right.
promise?
Right.
Like that's part of it too. You make that space further into the future and you show up and you keep that
Right.
promise, you know?
Right. And, it also depends on the maturity of the relationship, and sometimes
Fair.
it, uh, the reality is some of your friendships are going to deteriorate and some of them are going to stay strong. I mean, I've had friendships where, I could have a friend that just kind of falls off the face of the earth for like 6 months and we can pick up right where it left off. Like it's nothing happened. I've
Yep.
had
Yep.
friendships where they've fallen apart for like a year and a half and we pick up right where it left off. Um, obviously again, without giving names or anything like that, I had a friend who got married, got a new house, opened up a attorney practice and what have you. I showed up with a bouquet of flowers and was just like, girl, I'm so proud of you. This is so awesome and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Time erased as if it was just like, girl, yes, oh my God, let's do this, let's do that, let it, and we were cool. It's just, it's so
You also showed up
difficult.
for the good time too, right? You were
Exactly.
celebrating what was going on. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
just like the maturity of the relationship, we were fine, but the
Right.
reality is there are going to be some people when you show up, they're going to look at you and be like, what you doing here? You ain't been here. Like, so don't be
Where
surprised.
were you in 2019
Yeah.
when? Right.
Yeah. So don't always expect, to be received with open arms because there are going to be people who are going to be kind of like where you come from? Like you haven't been here, what have you? Because,
Or
it
they
does.
might even say you weren't here for that bad time, so
Exactly.
why you here for the good time? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
Um yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
I think it's just it's figured like you said, maturity relationship. That's a
Yeah.
really great way to put it. Because there
Yeah.
are adult friendships that are for a reason, season, or lifetime, right?
Exactly.
And if
Exactly.
that reason is no longer a reason, maybe they become an associate, and
Exactly.
which is
Or an
okay. I'm not saying that that's wrong. An acquaintance, associate,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's not your bestie. That's not.
No.
It's not someone you might check in on regularly. You know.
Right. Right.
So, yeah, yeah. The next tip is number 5. I sound like a broken record here because we've talked about boundaries a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
But respecting boundaries and setting boundaries isn't about shutting each other out. It's about giving both of you the space to be your full selves. It could be as simple as needing alone time after a long day, or agreeing to disconnect from work during dinner. Um, and if we're being real, having these honest conversations about boundaries can actually bring you closer because they show that you respect and value each other's needs. So again, that kind of leans towards couples a little bit, but it completely applies to adult
Of course.
friendships.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. No, I mean, I just recently went through this with a friend where I hadn't seen her since like April.
Mm,
And her mom and she was having some issues and what have you, and we
mm,
couldn't seem to connect, and she kind of just faded out, and we just saw each other like last week. And so
right,
that's like six
right.
months of just not being
Yeah,
able to
yeah,
connect.
yeah,
And she just went through a phase of I couldn't because I didn't want to make plans and break them because I was trying to concentrate on the things that I had to deal with my mom. And I'm
right.
just looking at her like, I totally get it. Like you contact me when you're ready, like
Well, like you
it's
said,
all
this
good.
that's the maturity of the relationship too, right?
Exactly.
It's not personal. It's not
No.
I'm choosing this over my friend. It's
Yes.
my friend understands that I got this going on, and once this is settled, in whatever way,
Right.
I'll reach back out to you,
Right.
right? And then a real friend does that.
Right.
That's what happens, you know. But
Exactly.
boundaries, yeah, boundaries. Oh man, I was having some conversations just the other day about people pleasing, right? And not to give names away, but this person was like, "Well, I always feel like I'm coming last," and I'm like, "But you're also choosing that, you know, you're choosing to put everyone else's needs first." And in this particular instance, the topic we were talking about, I'm like, if you choose what you want for you and your husband, what's the end of the is it the end of the world? Well, no. Okay. So that's a boundary that you can create and it'll be okay
Right.
with what the other person wants. Are they and not to be dramatic, but are they gonna die from not
Right.
getting what they want? And it was like, well, I know that they have these issues and that issue. I'm like, mm-mm. Like you're answering how that other person is or isn't going to respond. And there
Right.
you go, trying to please this other person when that's not what you want.
Right.
Turns out, boundary was set, everything was fine, it worked out, and there were some other, not precautions, but like extra steps to help the person who was dealing with their issues, right?
Okay.
For what they didn't want, but it all worked out because the
Hmm.
boundary was set and no one felt like they had to give in, you know,
Okay.
and it was healthy. So boundaries are good. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, I said that. No, I'm gonna have to, but but it all did work out though, and boundaries are good. That was the point I was really trying to make. And this particular person has a history of people pleasing and breaking their own boundaries.
Mm.
So that was where I was going with that.
Gotcha.
So, but on that note, why don't we take a break? And when
Okay.
we come back, we will talk about the other 5 tips of healthy relationships and how to keep them strong and healthy. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back from the break, y'all. This is the latest edition of Cruising with the Coaches, conversation with Julie and Lee. And we are talking about how to improve relationships, adult relationships mainly, but it applies to all relationships. So, um, anything you want to add before we go on to the next 5 tips for how to improve them? Any
Just
any
just that
jewels?
no, just that adult relationships are hard. They're hard.
It's hard not to take them personal, right? You're like it. Real quick before you go on, I
Yeah.
feel this because we moved onto this street and made friends. They lived across the street. I'm like, cool, right? Somebody across the street. I can have a friend. Then they moved to another part of the city. I'm like, okay, further away, but you're still in the city, right? We've been in this house for 12 years, 12, 13 years, something like that.
Okay.
So within the first couple of years, they moved to another part of the city. Then after that, they moved out of the city. They moved to Northeast, like Massachusetts, something like that, right?
Okay.
Like I'm starting to take it personal, right? Are you trying to get away from me? And I was like, but we're still friends, so it's okay,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
I was like, no, you can't leave. What are you doing? Come back, come back. So
Well,
yeah,
I mean, but what was probably just go down the street, can have dinner, hang out for a couple hours, blah blah blah, is now okay. Now we got to use transportation. We got to go, and then hang out. Now it's we got to go hang out, and it's
are you in
maybe
town
it's
or I got a
yeah,
plan? Yeah,
exactly. Are we staying overnight? It's kind of like a whole to do. So it changes the dynamic like dramatically. So
totally,
I get it.
totally. I was like, is it me? Is it me? Glad you know it wasn't me. So it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Oh man. But tip number 6. So this is having shared interests and goals. Having something to work towards as a team can strengthen the bond. And let's not forget, it's also fun. People who share goals often are more communicative. Yeah, communicative, said that right, and
Mhm.
find it easier to tackle life's challenges because they're moving in the same direction. Um, I find that when I've done a lot of different races, right, or different, 5K, 10K, like that is team building,
Okay.
bonding, if you will. So, obstacle course races, and I've either made friends, excuse me, or done it with friends.
Okay.
And then they're like, I didn't want to do it. I don't want to do this. And then it turned into, let's do it again, right? When are we doing it again? So I kind of get that, right? It's a shared interest or goal, and it turns into then something else, right? It turns into a century bike ride, or it turns into what else can we do? Um, and where like we can even travel to do it, right? Like you live here, I live there, so we'll meet and do this. Like it becomes that kind of thing, shared interests and goals.
That's cool.
Yeah. You're gonna do the next Spartan with us, by the way. Uh,
Yeah, that's a no. That's a negative.
I just figured if I said it on camera, you'd be
No.
like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a no.
That's like somebody trying to get me to do the 45 hard. I was like, yeah, no,
No.
we're not doing it.
No.
But
Not happening. No. No.
it's gonna happen, guys. Anyhow, tip number 7: nurturing a strong emotional connection. So think of emotional intimacy as the heartbeat of the relationship. It's what keeps you connected even when life is hectic. Sharing your feelings, thoughts, and dreams with your partner builds that sense of closeness and makes you feel understood. The trick to keeping that emotional connection strong: regular check ins. Make time to talk about more than just the daily grind. And that's kind of what we were saying before, right?
Mhm.
Regular check ins. And even in adult relationships, adult friendships, yes, you can share your dreams and your thoughts and your
Yeah.
goals, right?
Right.
You want to do that because then that's still keeping that emotional connection with the friendship, you know?
Right. Right.
Anything that you want to put in there for the emotional the nurturing emotional connections with friends,
I
or
mean, and just that everyone's different, again, you go to that whole, there's people who want to talk daily, there's people who want to talk monthly, there's people who want to talk yearly, just
right, right,
knowing your friend and understanding what their need is, because like me and my daughter were just talking about this because, she's, as some people like to say, copy and paste of me, and we're the same. We're the same person. And and we recognize it. And
right,
it's just kind of
right.
like, I really do. I'll realize like, man, I haven't talked to so and so in a minute. And I'm like, you know why that is? And I'm like, yeah, it's because I don't really initiate a lot of conversations. So then I'm like, let me say hello and whatever, la da da.
Oh,
Because
right,
I'm not
right,
an initiator. I'm just not an initiator.
right.
I don't know why. I'm just not.
Well,
And
well,
so
but you know that about yourself, and that's
yeah,
okay, right?
yeah,
And those of us who know that also know, cool, like that's who you are.
yeah,
We're not trying to change you.
yeah.
No, sorry, I forgot we were on camera. Oh my god, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But
But
yeah, like you
it's
know that
also
about yourself.
messed up though, because then when I do reach out to people, they be like, "Oh hell, Julie reached out. Let me talk. Let me hurry up and respond." And it makes me
Well,
feel bad because I'm like,
no,
it's
but
not.
see that should make you feel good
It
because
makes me feel
people
bad.
are no, because people are ready to drop whatever they're going to do to make sure they got that time with you. You should
That
feel
makes
good
me
about
feel
that.
so bad. It's like, oh my god, Julie, like, oh my god, stop it!
We
Like,
we
it's
probably should have
horrible.
changed. We probably should have changed this show to Confessions of Communication.
I know that's how I feel, man. But no, so like we just had this
Uh,
whole conversation about learning and understanding,
yeah,
people's different needs as far as that goes. Just,
absolutely.
there are some people who can go days, there's people who can go weeks, people can go months. I have a friend who, damn, she and I can probably see each other 4 times a year, and that's fine. And I
Right,
mean,
but it's you just pick up wherever you left
and
off,
we
and
do. And I'm like, hey, it's time for us to make our fall visit. It's like, all right, cool. It's time for us to make our winter visit. Okay, cool.
right,
It's just like,
right,
and with her, I'm the initiator because she is not, and I know I have to do that. And it's
right,
just kind of like, okay, it's all good.
right,
But
right.
it's just weird. Just, once you just make the time and kind of figure out your person or your not, I don't like saying your person, but learning that
Well,
learning
that
that
person.
person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
kind of just like, all right, cool. And so
All relationships, like you said, are nurtured differently.
yeah.
So, like that's okay. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And again, knowing your part in that, like
Right.
he's okay with it. You're okay with all right with this person with this.
Right.
I know that I do have to initiate. Right.
Right. Right.
Weird question. Does
Yeah.
it feel weird because everyone else initiates with you and then you have to initiate with this friend? Like, does that feel strange for you? Just because you're not the initiator in communication most times, like you're saying?
With her, no, only because I just treat her differently. I
Hmm,
don't she's had a lot of loss in her life,
sure.
so I just handle her differently.
So
I don't.
that's actually what we're talking about then. That's the
Yeah.
nurturing that relationship needs, and you're well aware of that. So that's how
Yeah.
you choose to nurture it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel different. I don't know why it doesn't, other
Yeah.
than I don't know.
I
I
was
don't
just
know.
curious. Like, but see, I was active listening too. I was
Yeah.
active.
No, but it doesn't feel awkward because
Mhm.
I don't know. I just and gosh, we've been in each other's lives since middle school. So,
Okay, right. So yeah, that you have really learned
yeah.
type of friendship it is, right? And that's
Yeah.
really what we're talking. These adult relationships, that one is not a hard relationship, you know?
Yeah. Not at all. Yeah.
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 No, that's cool. That,
Yeah.
again, I was just curious if it was different or odd for you, but that's the relationship you've had with this person for that long. So
Yeah.
it's like second nature, I'm sure.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
cool. Active listening, folks. Inactive. Tip number 8, managing stress together. Whether it's work, family, or just general hustle of life, stress can take a toll on your relationship. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to. Supporting each other through the tough times, practicing mindfulness, or even just unwinding together can help reduce the impact of stress. Lean on each other, talk about what's stressing you out, and work together to find ways to reduce the load. Um, I I want to share something here, but I know that um, what I'm going to share, like this is a listener, so I'm going to be real careful. Um, but I will just say that, like in a conversation that we had, I want to say it was managing the stress together, right?
Okay.
A situation that this friend had, and I had been talking to this friend about the situation, and it all like it's a mix of phone calls and text, right? So there was a text that came through, and I was like, "Oh, I don't understand that text. I don't." Now, what happened was there were some words that got missed in the text, right? Un, um, accidentally not typed.
Sure.
But that's when I was like, "Look, I'm getting out of the train. I'm gonna call you in a bit so I can get some clarity, right?"
Mhm.
And made that space for this conversation, made the space for this friend, and I turned out to be a much better result than this person had anticipated.
Mhm.
But definitely managed that stress load together. And I have to say this because this is something that a boundary that I work on. I gotta pat myself on the back because I didn't take on the stress like outside of the conversations, right? I wasn't like enveloped in it.
Mhm.
In the moment, talked about it, right? Texted about it, but never took it on as my own. And
Gotcha.
that's a huge thing as a friend, not to take on someone else's stress unnecessarily, you know?
Mhm.
So just wanted to share that example about what stress management with a friend looks like, you know,
Sure.
with,
Sure.
without taking it on, without actually taking the stress. And then the friend's like, "Oh, cool, I feel good." But now you're the one that's all jacked up, right? Because you've taken it on. So
Right.
yeah, number 9. Sorry about that. The role of compromise in relationships. The healthiest relationships are built on mutual give and take. Compromise doesn't mean you're losing something important. It's about finding a solution that works for both of you. Being willing to compromise shows that you respect your partner's needs and are invested in making things work. A win win compromise leaves both partners feeling heard, respected, and appreciated. Coming back out on camera, anything you'd like to add about compromise in relationships, in friendships?
I mean, the compromise should usually be easy. You know what I mean? Because if it's difficult, then I mean,
Oh,
is it really a friendship?
I was going to say, are they a friend?
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
it's hard to do, you might want to
Yeah.
reconsider. Yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
for sure. Yeah, good call out on that one.
Yeah, because it's funny because you do see
Oh,
some
sorry.
friendship. No, it's just funny because you'll see some friendships where you do see where it's really, really, really one-sided, and you're just kind of going,
Mhm.
"Ooh," like, and
I've let,
you feel
I've let
bad.
go of some of those. I have let
Yeah.
go of some of those. Like, why am I? Why? Or
Yeah.
I've also been on the end. Well, I'm not the friend because I know you keep reaching out, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I've let go of those too. You know.
Yeah. But it's hard when you're the person on the outside watching two people and you're just kind of
Mm,
going like,
mm.
like, oh, how do you not see this? Oh, like you just want to jump in and say, oh, but
The breaks. Yeah.
yeah, it's hard.
Yeah. You don't want to watch it. It's like watching a train wreck. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
In slow motion. Yeah.
Mhm.
Tip number 10 is, we mentioned this earlier, celebrating milestones and achievements. Celebrations bring joy and gratitude into your relationship, reminding you of everything you've accomplished together. It doesn't always have to be a grand gesture. Simple things like a surprise or a heartfelt note can make your partner feel loved and appreciated. Regularly celebrating both big and small wins helps keep positive energy alive in your relationship. So I think we mentioned that before, right? Celebrating all the things, right? It doesn't have to be some big thing. And that's where like the text or maybe the emoji or the reel comes in based on the friendship for a celebration of something, right?
Right.
Or it's that letting them know that I see you, I see what you're doing, I got you, right?
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
I mean, like we've got a core group where like we do the birthday thing, and like even when the birthdays are coming up, it's kind of like, hey, just a FYI, on your birthday, I got this going on. So
Mm,
kind of like, so it's kind of like, okay, can we do something a couple days before, a couple days after, like just saying, hey, I can't do anything the day of. Can
mhm.
we, so it's already known that we're gonna be together. Just can we work around this kind of a thing? So,
Yeah.
just knowing that you guys got each other's backs, it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. No, I think that's it, man. Like you do what you can, right?
Right,
You touched on it a few of the tips ago. Really, the nurturing part,
right,
right?
right,
It's really about the maturity and the type of relationship it is, but nurturing that particular relationship because they're not all the same,
right,
and each one of them needs something different. And knowing who you are, right? Knowing what boundaries you need, knowing the nurturing that you need in the friendship, right?
right, right.
So I think all those things are important for relationships.
Yep.
So, well, yo, another episode of Cruising with the Coaches. This is in the books. You can find us on Spotify, right down there. Look at the search the Live All Good podcast. Look for the Cruising with the Coaches episodes. Absolutely visit our YouTube page. That's where all the video episodes live. There are also video episodes on Spotify. But if those aren't your flavor, we got you covered. We got you on Facebook as well. You can go to the Facebook page and catch clips and episodes there as well. So until next time, Lee and Julie signing off.